Hey guys, Messy the Mad here with another Battle Brothers video for the new Blazing Deserts content. This video is about a build idea I had for the Manhunter start. I was looking at the mechanics for the Manhunter start. If you look here on the new campaign page, it says you start with 2 Manhunters and 4 indebted. You can take up to 16 men to battle at once. Having fewer indebted than non-indebted will make your men dissatisfied. So that's pretty much what I want to play with. So I've always been interested in the peasant militia start because you get 16 men, but apparently it's quite powerful, and I just like the idea of having lots of dudes. But the idea of only having access to the peasant starts and not having any of the good backgrounds like hedge knights, raiders, squires, all the good ones. We can get raiders, sort of, but um, yeah, like even monk background and stuff like that have interesting or useful events that pop up with them. If you go for the peasant militia start, you just miss out on so much of the variety that you get from some of the cooler backgrounds. So it's always kind of put me off. I've started it a few times, but I've never really gone far with it. So this Manhunter start gave me the idea that this one also lets you start with 16 men, but you can take any type of background that you want. So that sounds to me like a cool recipe for making just an awesome band of huge company of guys with 16 guys going into battle. The downside is that more than half of them have to be indebted, which are quite weak characters. I'll just get into a game that I've saved at a good point here. Um, so that mechanic that I just showed there was explaining that you have to have these indebted characters that are that and you can see their abilities there. Basically, they can't go above level 7. They die if they get struck down, and they won't survive with a permanent injury. Um, but some good thing about them is they're always content with being in reserve, and if they die, it doesn't trigger morale checks for everyone else. So that's might be important. So you can see here, so I was looking at where the mechanic works. I wasn't too sure from reading it. Basically, you don't get any penalty for having more non-indebted than indebted just in your party. So you can see here, I've got 4 indebted and I've got 6 non-indebted, and they don't have any penalty to their morale. Excuse me. Um, but if you go into battle, so I've got this arena set up here. If you go into battle, then anyone who's non-indebted gets a debuff. So if we go here, so this guy's non-indebted, see, and you look at his morale, it says he's got the -2 few indebted in battle, and as a result of that, he's gone to dissatisfied morale, so he can only ever have steady morale or worse. So that particular guy can never be confident in this battle. So this guy has got this ability to determine, so he always starts the battle confident, unless he was dissatisfied, in which case he wouldn't be able to start the battle as confident. But because this guy's morale was higher initially, he still remained content. So he's got the debuff too few indebted in battle, which is going to trend him down towards dissatisfied, but he hasn't hit it yet. So basically, the point I'm trying to make here is that even though the mechanic trends you towards dissatisfied, it doesn't necessarily mandate that you have to be dissatisfied all the time. So potentially it's possible to game that system and keep you guys morale up. Or indeed, maybe it's possible to just manage with dissatisfied morale. So if all you guys were dissatisfied, meaning they can only be steady morale or worse, that's not too bad. They go into battle just with general unbuffed stats. If you look at confident morale, all it gives you is plus 10% to all of your traits. So at this point, it's not giving him any additional melee defense. It's giving him, you know, a few points of melee skill. Actually, it's giving him a decent amount of melee skill, but it's not like you can do without. You can get by without it. You don't need to be confident. But what you really don't want to be is wavering. So if you start losing stats, then that's bad. That's going to hurt us, I think. So I'm not too worried about not being able to get confident, although potentially we could still get confident. But I'm gonna be just definitely aiming to avoid dropping below that. Um, so that might mean taking backgrounds that help promote higher mood. So, Minstrel, I think, has an event that where they sing a song or something that boosts your mood. Um, uh, yeah, there's a lot of ones that can boost mood for individual guys, but there's also some other ones like Optimist, I think, can boost mood for a bunch of you guys. There's a few events that can boost mood for a bunch of you guys. You can also just drink alcohol in taverns and stuff. Um, and there's the new retinues that you can get, the camp followers. You can hire followers once you get above a certain renown level. I haven't unlocked that in this playthrough yet, but one of the things you can get is the paymaster. Reduces daily wage by 15%, prevents men demanding more pay in events like the sellsword event, and it also reduces the chance of desertion by 50%. So potentially, if we're struggling with low, a lot of dissatisfied and angry guys, and we're, getting more desertions, that could be useful. The paymaster could be useful for that. There's also the drill master follower. It makes you guys gain more experience, especially when they're at lower levels, and also makes men in reserve never lose mood from taking part in battles. So, if we're already losing mood from dissatisfied in battles, that might potentially, help with reducing that. Um, but yeah, so basically the idea is we're going to take the debuff to a morale and have to work around that. But the payoff is that we get to take in 16 potentially high background characters and make a really powerful background that way. Um, so yeah, so hopefully this idea works out. I'm pretty excited about it. Um, I'm gonna make a kind of role play campaign to try it out. That's kind of like the good thing about this sort of power gaming stuff, where you kind of exploit the gameplay. You don't, you know, you don't really exploit the gameplay. Well, I don't usually exploit the gameplay rules just to make the game easier. I usually exploit the gameplay rules so that I can do something else that's non-optimal in like a role-play campaign or something, and it still work because you've got this kind of advantage from some sort of exploit that you figured out. So yeah, so my plan with these guys is to they're going to be called the Grim Redeemers, and they're going to be these sort of humorless, fanatical religious guys that hunt down heretics and criminals, beasts, witches, etc. So I'm still going to use so in game I'm still going to use the indebted mechanic. So basically what happens is after you have a battle, you I can't really show you this because we're not going to be able to catch these. But if we're fighting humans, we'd fight the battle, and afterwards, one of the guys that you've slain or defeated will join your army as a slave, basically, as an indebted. So yeah, so the way I envision it playing out is that we're going to have you know, a whole bunch of like different characters that are going to be all like kind of cool and characterful. Maybe we'll have like a holy knight. We'll have like a monk. I want to have a few religious characters, maybe some flagellants and some monks. Maybe I've got to have a witch hunter in there somewhere. So it might be hard to find these kind of characters to find good recruits. Might have to do a bit of save scumming in between episodes or something to get that happening. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a fun playthrough. And what I'll probably do is this is meant to be just sort of a statement of intention video, just to outline the build. If anyone else is interested, or if everyone else has already tried it, can let me know what happens, whether it actually works or not. Um, probably going to make a series of videos after this, just of like let's play of how it goes as I'm building up the company. I don't know if I'll publish those though, because they probably aren't going to be that interesting. Um, and then I might do another quick video at day 100 or something like that, assuming I survive that long, and just kind of maybe showcase the build, how it works, and anything that I figured out along the way. So yeah, so thanks guys. Hopefully this build interests you guys, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see you next time.